So we were back in Portugal with Duckman again. We do a lot of Duckman, but all of the stuff is really different and unique. And you actually might have, there's a couple different vintages that we have of this one, 2019 and 2020. I have the 2020 here of Nerd Duck, but they should have relatively similar flavor profiles overall. He just decided to change the label for his 2020. And the combination of it is, for now, Pires and Baga grape, I believe. And this is a really like light, fun, fresh example. And it's funny, I think maybe that's why he actually changed the bottle, because like the old bottle maybe seemed a little bit more serious. And if you've had other Duckman wines in the past, like he has really, it's honestly, sometimes his wines are really complex, but I do not think that they're not the type of wine producer that like wants to take themselves seriously. So I think this is maybe just more in their aesthetic. So the color is surprisingly light. I would call this in like the rosé category of wines. It looks quite light. I don't know how long it was on the skins, but I'm gonna guess not super long, just because I also know that the tannin's pretty light, but we'll get there in a moment. So yeah, it's like very light extraction, like just bright ruby. And on the nose, he always just has so much going on. It's both of them, man and a woman. There's so much going on with it. I guess just because it's Duck Man. I always think about the duck. So it's like very fresh. I guess like raspberries, I would probably say, but then it's almost like strawberries as well. And then when you get down here, it's more like plums and like cherry, but like just kind of like very ripe. I guess, yeah, just all very ripe cherry. It does even have like some non-fruit characteristics here, like some sort of rock. What kind, I don't really know. Maybe a few different like types of herbs. Again, I don't really know. Maybe like tomato leaf. And then on the palate, so it's got really high acidity, but it's nicely balanced. The tannin's quite low, and it's interesting. It's like tart. It's super tart when you first start, and it's like a, I don't know. I gotta get a better example than Warheads. That's what I keep thinking of. Like, it does not taste at all like Warheads, but like, the whole idea of like the puckering tartness of like a super, I guess it might be like underripe cherry. Like it smelled like really ripe cherry, and now on the palate, it's more like a really tart underripe cherry. And it honestly has like, I don't want to say sweetness because like this is not have residual sugar. It is not sweet, but there's something about it that's like, I might just be getting this because I also saw someone talk about how they thought it was like almost cola-esque, which sounds really weird, but like I totally get that on it. It's like it even maybe smells a little bit like Coke. It's like it smells like whatever sugary, specifically like brown sugar or like Dr. Pepper, maybe even like, or even root beer. You know that like kind of smell that comes with it? I get that on here. Yeah, it's just lean and fresh. I honestly probably could have chilled it longer. I've had the old the 2019 vintage. I think the 2019 vintage, if I remember, is a little bit more extracted than this one, but otherwise like similar grapes, similar profile. I would probably put the 2020 in the fridge for a little bit longer. Again, because I'm saying like this is really more in like that rosé category, and it shines really nicely. And I think maybe the acid is slightly tempered more when you have a little bit more chill on it. So as far as pairings go, we're just still in that, like light red category. So nothing serious, or at least nothing red serious, I guess. But I would go with the whole idea of like your drunk junk food category. You could definitely play with a bunch of stuff in that area. Like I would go with, you're doing like even, I don't know, this is gonna sound really weird, but like for some reason baked potato is coming to me. Maybe something about how I feel like the texture of that would be really nice with like some bacon on top and like the sour cream. That I feel like would work really well here. That's incredibly specific, but again, like, the whole idea of like fish and chips or chicken nuggies or whatever, like all of that fried and battered stuff always goes really well with like this rosé category. So if you're planning for something like that, or I'm out at Cape Cod right now, and I haven't thought about what I would pair with lobster rolls. This is not it. I would not pair this with it, but I should start thinking about that more. So something's going to pair with a lobster roll soon, but this is not it. But let's say you do like a fish fry, you know, where that you go out, or a clam bake or whatever it's called, like where there's all the fried seafoods. This would be like unbelievably perfect with that. So just take that battered food for some reason I'm really seeing as something that would be good here, and potatoes. So I hope you enjoy it. It's perfect for summer, really fun and fresh. Have fun.